Hello. Hey, you guys. Um, Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I think I'm just going to lift this up a little bit. How about that? Look at that. See myself. Hey, you guys. Um, where do I start? What a quiet weekend for me. It's been so beautiful. It's Monday morning, and I really did spend the weekend doing nothing. A little bit of this and that, but mostly nothing. And yesterday, I spoke a little bit about um, the sometimes uncomfortableness the ego has with not doing stuff, and the conversation that goes on, and how beautiful it is to be able to just watch it and not judge it, not want to change it, just watch it. So that was my chat yesterday. Hi, Mel. Welcome, buddy, all the way from down under. I've been watching all your family pics. They're great. You're a blessed man. So I I got a note from a fella yesterday, which was, and I get comments on my posts and both on Facebook and on YouTube, and comments come, and that's great. And I got this one yesterday, and it was beautiful. But I wanted to, without really identifying who the fella is, I just wanted to share with you a little bit, because it's so easy sometimes to not see ourselves and to just be unconscious, really, and this is obviously a very beautiful man, and actually person, and I'd spoken yesterday again about this idea of this uncomfortableness, this story in my ego that I was supposed to be doing something, I was supposed to be accomplishing. How could I just be sitting around doing, literally nothing, what felt like nothing, a judgment on myself, and this person said, I'm wondering if it is the conditioning that society has imposed on us all since the industrialization era. And okay, yes, I see that. Then she gets a little bit more personal. We're expected to be productive or successful in order to feel worthy, and therefore perceive us and others as dignified individuals. Again, a great observation. We're expected to be productive or successful in order to feel worthy, and therefore perceive ourselves and others as dignified individuals. So that's her she's seeing that, and I and I agree that there's been a lot of that put on us, and so, which makes it difficult to sometimes not be doing something. Even the mind wants to say, well, this is what I'm doing is something. Doing nothing is something, because the mind wants to justify. And she says he says the present break is given me time to pause and realize how the rat race has been killing me. And that's one of the first little things that I wanted to look at. The language that we use, it comes from kind of an unconscious place. The rat race is a judgment, So watch, what I've been trying to share is that when we have judgments, to use them, observe them, and use them as vehicles to the moment, like as oh, look at that, a judgment. So I would say that whether we agree with her judgment or not is irrelevant. Just to see how often in her conversation the rat race has been killing me. pretty strong language, you know, pretty strong language. And she goes on to talk about how that looks. So it's a description. She's saying, you know, the rat race is killing me, which kind of puts this person in a victim place, right? It's been killing me. Something outside of her, or him, is killing me. But the sad part, so this is also a judgment, the sad part is that the peace is in conflict with my ego. Again, a judgment. And the conflict, of course, who's created the conflict? You know, the possibility is to always just be the observer and not to create conflict. Conflict comes from an idea of right and wrong, or good and bad. So just to watch ourselves in our language and in our day-to-day, where are we at? Are we observing or not? You know, and as we become the observer, it's a big jump. It's like, oh, look at that. Instead of being in it, we're, you know, and attached to it, we're watching. And then she says, or he says, it doesn't help the fact the day of my 5th anniversary of cancer-free, I get kicked with a biopsy that may confirm brain cancer. So, so she said earlier, the rat race is killing her. And then, you know, so there's not just a possibility to watch the, you know, where am I playing victim? Where am I? And in our society, it's not, people don't want to hear that, you know, that we're playing victim, or you know, like we're very conditioned to feel sorry for people and to allow them to be in a victim place or judge themselves, you know, and so a lot of times, in my opinion, a lot of times illness, or you know, even accidents or all kinds of things can be ways to get, you know, to get something. We want to get attention. We want to get, you know, and victim is an attention getter. You know, we've painted a whole, you know, I was talking to a friend yesterday, because, you know, she's often caught up in judgment and caught up in complaint and like this, you know, again, is part of this is complaint as well. But we have to be able to identify these things a bit, you know, so that we can watch them, so we can see them. And as we watch them, we become aware of them. We watch them, they melt away. And the trick is not to attach. Just like, oh, wow, look at that, you know, and they melt away. We don't give it any energy. And we talked about how society can victimize everybody, you know, like poor society can victimize women, say, you know, that society can victimize whole races, you know, of people, Asian or African American, or you know, and say that they've been victims, and put us all in that place, you know, and you know, have a story of victimizing old people and young people, and it's just that's our conditioning, and so watch for it, just watch for it, and maybe be the one that's not doing that, or letting it go, not to be against it, just let it go. Yeah, and you know, it's almost sacrilege to not agree with the victim story, you know. The whole cancer victim story, the whole, you know, we have a lot of victim around. Okay. So just watch. Here, she says, I'm referring to my tiny little world. And that's a description or a judgment, my tiny little world. But to the world out there, the chaos and turmoil is a call for more tolerance and loving one another. So it's a beautiful letter, you know, it's a beautiful piece, and just to watch in it though, and in us always, and we need each other, I think, to help us not to be in this victim story, in this judgment story, you know, and possibly in an anger story. And I really appreciate these comments and personal sharings that have been coming. Um, and yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm also watching. It, I'm also watching my own reactions and being more conscious of myself and having some amazing experiences of awakenness. So thank you, for allowing me to do this. And we mustn't forget, today is September the 7th. And I love to read this little piece that comes from this little book. Mel's not that fond of this book, and I have I kind of rewrite it as I go. I write out any of the racist comments, and I write out any of the because it was written in 1954, and I think they were just generally unaware about some things. There's some beautiful pieces in here, but some of it's pretty can be pretty patriarchal, and so I level it out a little, and which I hope you don't mind. September 7th. Another of the mottos, it says, of AA is easy does it. Easy does it. Easy does it. This means we just go along in life, doing the best we can and not getting steamed up over problems that arise, either in our own personal world or outside of it. That's what we were just talking about, wasn't it? Becoming aware of when we have judgments, when we have anger, when we have, complaint. That's what we were just talking about. Hi, Ravi, my man. Nice to have you there. Thanks. So, I'm just reading from the 24-hour day book just now. And where was I? We, alcoholics, is talking to here in this book to alcoholics, and I also include addicts and everybody really, because we're all addicted to, to old concepts, old ideas, to the victim story, to complaint, right? Poor me, I'm not tall enough. Poor me, I didn't go to high school, right? Whatever. And we're addicted to that story. That's the consciousness brings us present so that we can release that. And as we release the complaint, as we release the anger, as we release the victim story or the judgment of ourselves or others, we lift it up, period. We go to our natural state, which is unconditional love. Have gone to excess. No, okay. We alcoholics are emotional people, it says. And we have gone to excess in almost everything we've done. We have not been moderate in many things. We have not known how to relax. Faith in a higher power can help us learn to take it easy. We're not running the show. Gosh, help me if I'm running the show, right? We're not running the show. Life is living me, and that's the amazing piece that we get to, is that, everything, nothing's missing. Everything's perfect in the moment. We're not running the show. I've lost my spot. We have not known how to relax. Faith in a higher power can help us to learn to take it easy. We are not running the world, it says. We are only one among many. We are resolved to live normal, regular lives. Just normal, regular lives, whatever that looks like. From our addicted experience, we learn, or from our past, or from our AA, from the steps, from the process of the steps, we experience, we learn that easy does it. We learn that easy does it. Have I learned to take it easy? So yes, one of the big words in the 12 steps is pause. We pause. When agitated and upset and concerned, we pause. And ego says, no, we must do something. Just relax. Easy does it. Meditation for the day. The eternal God is thy refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. The concept of refuge, I love it. Hey, Cami, hi, love. I was just talking to Emily a couple minutes ago, and she mentioned, well, I asked her how you were doing. Nice. So here we are. The eternal God is thy refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. Sheltering arms express the loving protection of God's Spirit. So it's funny because it's almost impossible to speak of God. There's no words to talk about God. There's no description. So we make up lots of story, the loving arms, all of that, and it's beautiful. It's a nice, but they're analogies. They're stories to help us to relax and take it easy, and to feel that presence. Man and women, see, it's a little patriarchal. Man, in his troubles and difficulties, needs nothing so much as a refuge. Nothing so much as a refuge, right? A place to relax, a place where he can lay down his burdens and get relief from his cares. Say to yourself, God is my refuge. Say it until its truth sinks into your very soul. Say it until you know it and you are sure of it. Nothing can seriously upset you or make you afraid if God is truly your refuge. So beautiful, isn't it? I love it. That's a nice, the idea of refuge is a bit of, comes from the Buddhist teachings, and it's beautiful. I love it. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may go each day to God as a refuge until fear goes and peace and security come. I pray that I may feel deeply secure in the haven of His Spirit. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. It's good. So that's it. Watch. Just the process of watching. When we're in complaint, just not to judge it, just to watch it. Thanks, Cami. Cami's 10 months. That's awesome. Love you, girl. Just watch when we're when we're acting out, when we're in complaint, when we're getting flustered. Just drop in the moment. Use those things as the vehicle to this moment. And Toby, hi, girl. Hi, love. I hope you listen to this one. I think you'll love it. So that's it. Consciousness and awareness, self-awareness, self-realization. As we become more aware, things fall away. And the peace comes. So awareness and consciousness is the key. Slow down. Take a little time each day to check in. To feel, to be part of what's happening. And love you guys so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. And check out our YouTube channel, please, and subscribe. Maybe if you go to YouTube, maybe share one of my videos on like your Facebook or something, so that others can see and come to YouTube. And a week from today, next Monday, we're going to start our meditation. So I'm inviting you to join us on Facebook Live or on Zoom, or we'll also be live on YouTube. And so I'm asking you to join us. I'm encouraging you to join us for that next Monday at 7:30. And also, some of you, Toby, I'd love it if you can do this. Come to the house. We're going to have, small group here. We'll be COVID conscious, okay, at 7:30 on Monday next week. Okay, love you lots.